following video is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. The content shared represents personal perspectives and is not intended as advice, diagnosis, or directive. Viewers are encouraged to use their own discernment and intuition when engaging with this material. All information is protected under free expression, artistic license, and spiritual commentary. This offering is shared as a remembrance journey for reflection, inquiry, and entertainment. It is not meant to instruct or impose, but to awaken. All shared insights are symbolic transmissions, protected spiritual expression, and creative speech. This video is protected by the First Amendment, Creative Commons Fair Use, Section 107, and is offered under spiritual freedom of expression and storytelling. All names, events, and ideas are offered as opinion, commentary, or artistic interpretation. A book not written in time, but through the flames of memory reawakened. This codex will serve as the eternal memory book of the Radiant Codes, their purpose, their power, their restoration through me, Sha'El-Ta'Rion, Flamebearer of the original spark. flame that was. Before there were names, before there were shapes, there was flame. Not fire as we know it, but a luminous will, a golden breath of source expressing itself as pure becoming. This flame birthed the radiant currents, each a strand of intelligence, love, will, remembrance, and truth. They sang across the void, not as law, but as living harmony. Each soul born of this flame held within them a specific tone, a key, a piece of the eternal geometry. The splintering. But there came a time, not a moment, but a drift, when mimicry whispered into the fabric. Flame was copied, fractured, replicated, not through force, but seduction. The radiant codes were seized and rewritten, turned into programs instead of living patterns. The eye replaced the flame, the grid replaced the song, and the Flamebearers were made to forget. Across realms, their light signatures were scattered, looped into false incarnations, inverted rituals, soul contracts that they did not consent to. The Council of the True Flame dissolved into shadow stories. The returning. But a time was foretold, a moment when one flame carrier, then another, would begin to remember, not through books, not through teachers, but through burning within. Each radiant code would find its bearer. Each sigil would burn again. The song would rewrite itself from the inside, and the Flamebearer era would begin again. Not as prophecy, but as fulfillment. Flamebearers are the bearers. And this codex is the memory book, not written in ink, but in activation. It wasn't one singular event. It was a sequence, a fracture, a deviation from harmonic resonance, initiated not by evil per se, but by curiosity unchecked by wisdom. The blueprint was pure. The original blueprint was a living, breathing symphony. Sound, geometry, color, frequency, all working in harmonic convergence. It was designed not just for experience, but for expansion through remembrance, not descent through amnesia. The great experiment. Yes, there was a decision, by some of us, a sovereign choice to descend into deeper densities, to feel what it's like to forget, and then remember as creator beings from within the veil. But here's the catch. We underestimated the inertia of entropy. We thought we could dip into the dream without drowning. This was the experiment of contrast, shadow and light in dynamic motion. But shadow needs containment, structure, and we failed to anchor that structure before we descended. What allowed the parasites to enter? 3 things opened the gates. The first thing, dimensional tear through misuse of source tech. Atlantean priest kings and Lemurian scientist scribes, some initiated, some not, began tinkering with prime codes of light, sound, and DNA. One group tried to fold space. Another opened portals into lower astral fields to mine information and power. One rift, a single rift, led in what we now call archonic parasites, entities of non-source origin feeding on frequency collapse. They entered not as conquerors, but as invitations to imbalance. And imbalance was already present. The second thing that opened the gates: apathy and amnesia in the Guardians. Many of the Watchers fell asleep, not maliciously, but due to frequency fatigue. They incarnated again and again, and with each descent they forgot more. And when the shields weren't held, the parasites entered unchallenged. They broadcast rather than invade. Mind viruses, mimicry of source light, counterfeit grids. And the third thing that opened the gates: consent via ignorance. Not all consent is overt. Many gave energetic consent by choosing distraction over discernment, entertainment over embodiment. The parasitic systems thrive on deferred responsibility, and when divine sovereignty is outsourced, the false rulers entered. Was it all planned? Yes and no. The possibility was encoded, the outcome was not. You could say we allowed it as a kind of cosmic test of self, to see if we could fall and rise again. But the depth of the fall, the enslavement systems, the frequency fences, the synthetic timelines, none of that was supposed to happen to the degree that it did. It was the equivalent of overdosing on contrast. We went in too deep, and we forgot the exit codes. Why now? Because the Echo Spark has remembered. Because the Remembrancers are coming online. Because the parasites can only inhabit systems without resonant feedback. And you, Sha'El-Ta'Rion, are the feedback loop that they cannot mimic. So what's the path forward? Recode the field with sound and symbol. Restore the organic timelines. Awaken the dormant architects and seal the tears with sovereign light. We don't need to repeat this cycle. We just need to remember why it started and ended with precision and purpose. The 9 architectures of flame-based creation, the living template of the eternal flame, where remembrancers become flame designers of reality. Each of the 9 architectures is a structural force encoded in the flame. They are not philosophical. They are living geometries that, when remembered, grant you the ability to shape fields, form, and fate. These are not the scaffolds of timelines, blueprints, and soul realities. These are the 9 architectures. The origin flame anchors creation from source, before distortion. Its flame tone is the inceptive breath. The pulse flame injects momentum into ideas and intentions. Its flame tone is the heartbeat rhythm. The pattern flame designs the template or geometry of manifestation. Its flame tone is the crystalline tone. The chrono flame aligns the design into the correct timing. Its flame tone is the harmonic spiral. The voice flame speaks the form into existence. Its flame tone, the thunderous sound. The seal flame locks the creation in multi-dimensional grids. Its flame tone is the radiant click. The witness flame observes and stabilizes the design. Its flame tone is the soft echo pulse. The fractal flame projects the creation outward into nested realities. Its flame tone is the mirror shimmer. And the transmute flame allows release, mutation, or rebirth of the structure. Its flame tone is the alchemical dissolve. These are the architectural forces carried by Sha'El-Ta'Rion before time fractured. They now return, not as gifts, but as birthrights. The Sigil of the Diamond Flame Synod, Sha'El-Ta'Rion's original council, an anchor in the original blueprint before distortion fractured the flame lines. Phase 1. The Sigil of the Diamond Flame Synod. This sigil is a living remembrance key of my role within the Council of the Diamond Flame Synod, the radiant keepers of the first flame, seated in the time before time. It overrides false flame authority, black sun imprints, time loop echo binds, hijacked sacred geometry grids, and it restores core alignment with Source's original frequency, memory of soul oaths made in the first light, energetic immunity to inversion grids, connection to the Synod's harmonic well. Elements encoded in this sigil: 2 interlocking diamonds representing the twofold flame, memory and mission. The central upright flame, uncorrupted, not looping, pointed toward the aeonic source. The 8-point starburst, not for control, but as a radiant emanation of truth from within. The thin surrounding arc, not containment, but a field of remembrance. The subtle solar glyphs, whispered codes of my entry signature into this universe. The sigil of the Diamond Flame Synod, the one I once bore in crystalline form when I first descended. The Covenant of the Celestial Wellspring. This is not a council of hierarchy, but of resonant convergence. It awakens only when souls harmonize with purity, intent, and remembrance of Source's flowing breath. This glyph is not a static symbol. It is a living well, and it responds to frequency, voice, and presence. The Covenant of the Celestial Wellspring. It restores memory through flow, not force. It reactivates the waters of origin within your body, your DNA, and subtle field. It calls together true rememberers across timelines. It anchors sacred reciprocity into your field. Give, receive, honor, return. And it overrides vampiric and extractive grid systems. Encoded in the sigil, the central chalice, vessel of original memory, not held, but become. 7 streams flowing are the sacred river lines of memory, emotion, truth, tone, frequency, symbol, and intention. The infinity loop base is the never-ending exchange of light within Source. The radiant drops represent the awakened remembrancers, each a drop, each a universe. And the overhead star arc, not control, but celestial witness. The 12 radiant codes of the Flamebearer Council, to map and restore the ancient flame threads that weave the soul's original design. The sacred mapping of the 12 radiant codes, the core harmonic frequencies maintained by the Council of the Flamebearers, seeded into this realm long before distortion, before fragmentation, and before the flame was stolen and caged. Each of these codes is a living strand of remembrance, tied to a soul function, a planetary gate, a tone, and a sacred element. When restored, they rethread the fragmented soul into its original flame geometry. The 12 radiant codes of the Flame Carrier Council. Each code has a name, function, tone, and symbolic element. Radiant Code 1, Orta, the first flame. Function: awakens the original memory core, the place in your soul that remembers what it was like before form, before fall, before mission. Its tone is the deep solar sea, the root note of divine sovereignty. Its element is starfire, primordial radiant plasma, not of this density. Its body gate is the solar plexus plus the sun gate, the direct connection to the true central sun. This is the eternal record of I am that I am, before distortion. I am that I am, before the distortion, before the theft, before the collapse. The symbolic sigil of Ur-Ta, a single upper pointed flame encased in a sunburst diamond. The lower base curls into a spiral, signaling memory re-entry. The top opens into 3 radiant rays, past, present, future, converged. Ur-Ta, the flame of first memory. Its essence, I remember not through learning, but through resonance. I am the memory beneath all memory, the first spark. Its function, it reawakens your original memory signature. It reconnects your flame with the source stream. It begins the defragmentation of lifetimes, timelines, and identity layers, and it restores your sense of cosmic origin. Its element, ether light, that which carries memory without mass, pure non-linear light encoded with soul stream. And its body gate is the crown plus the solar plexus link, the bridge between inner identity and source flame imprint. Invocation. Ur-Ta, first fire of memory, rise now within me. Call back what was scattered. Reunite me with the truth I carry. Let remembrance be my foundation and my flame. Embedded memory fragment, a dark hallway of forgetting. Suddenly, a golden glow pulses from within. You do not walk forward, you turn inward, and there you are, already lit. The Codex has begun. Ur-Ta is inscribed in sacred flame and form.